everyone, welcome back to Up North with the Nybergs. Ed here. It's beginning of October. It's roughly about 62 degrees. It's actually pretty nice. And so if you watch any of my videos, you know we got about 70 acres up here in Leelanau County, which is in northern Michigan. And so what I thought I would do on this video is kind of give you a sense of where everything is on our property. Hopefully you've watched some previous videos and you'll see us cutting wood and working on the driveway and just installing my weather station, things like that. So what I thought I would do is take this time and do a walk of the property and show you a little more in depth of where everything's located. So I'm going to start at the top. We've got about 4/10 of a mile and it's all downhill, luckily. And so stick around and come on down and walk with me down to the red barn here. I am going to start over at the top. All right, I thought I would start off by showing you where our wood boiler and our wood storage area is, and that's pretty close to the house. You can see back here we've got the wood boiler and we've got the wood storage. I tried to put this camera on a gimbal and it's just blowing way too hard for you to hear my voice. So I decided to put it on a tripod and carry it. So hopefully it's not too bad. But we go through about 10 to 12 cords per year and we're probably about 75% done right now for the year. All right, and this is our back way to drop off wood. This little 2-tracker back here. I've used my back blade to try and smooth it off a little bit and made it a little wider. I need to put some gravel back here in the spring, but you can see it's pretty wide, easily for my four-wheeler to get back here to deliver wood. Look at this, we actually have some nice color here showing up. All right, back here is where the garden is. This is Kathy's garden. And we've got a pretty open field here. This is where our gun range is. I don't know if you can see it over there. It's around the corner over here. And then we have a rifle range as well. But this is her garden area. We hope to triple the garden in the spring. We've got plenty of room to move it out and expand it. We want to put a lot more blueberries in as well. Nice little hill to climb here. And then you can really see the color. These two trees here, every year, they're the first ones to show color. There's the opening of the gun range. All right, walking on this driveway, like I mentioned, it's about 4/10 of a mile. And we've been working this year on filling these cracks ourselves. So we are going to seal coat it ourselves in the spring. You can see there's a fair amount of cracks here, and most of them have been filled as well. But it definitely, you can see it definitely needs to be seal coated. Then it'll look almost brand new. I'll show you. We've already had it done once and it really looks nice, but you can see from where the plow blade comes through and scrapes a lot of this off. We're going to do it probably every 3 or 4 years. And then looking over here, you can see right there our weather station. I've got a video on that, and I'll post it up and a link to it as well, but it's a WeatherFlow weather station. This loafing shed right here we use for backup wood, and we hope to fill it yet this year, and we're certainly on pace to do that, but that's what we use this for. And the fence material is vinyl, and that's expensive now. This is well over 15 years old, and it's held up really, really well. We don't have any issues with the fence, but now, last time I checked, each one of these sections are about $100, so they're certainly not cheap. All right. This is something that we worked on over the weekend. You can see this is a apple tree that we have, and there are some really nice apples on here. Not 100% sure what type of variety these are, but Kathy likes them, she eats them, and the deer love them. You can see the branches, we prune this, and we need to come down here this week and take care of these branches. I'm going to use my Woodland Mills wood chipper to clean these up here, but you can see we got a lot of apples ready to fall. Deer just love these, as you might imagine. And then over here is typically our view out from the house. See some turkeys right over there. I'm not sure you can see them here. See if I can pull in a little bit and see some wild turkeys out there. We typically have a lot of wild turkeys that we see, and there's about 6 of them that have just been with us for the last 2 weeks. All right, these are a couple other fruit trees straight ahead here. They did not bear fruit this year. They do it every other year. But if I have a picture, I'll show you this one in full blossom. They're old, and then the one behind it, same thing. We get a lot of fruit. There's a lot of fruit trees on this property, which of course the wildlife like. Here's some more color in this maple. It's a sugar maple. I think it's going to be a good year this year for color. I would say every 3 out of 4 years are really good. Looks like we're getting a little fog. We're on a peninsula up here in northern Michigan, so we're about 20 minutes from Lake Michigan, so we'll get some fog rolling in. All right, here's some more brush that I've removed that were overhanging the driveway. And we get a lot of these olive bushes right here with the berries on them. These are invasive, and when I mean invasive, I'm not kidding. These things grow like weeds, and I'm not sure where they're from, but I'm constantly having to remove those. Some more color here. Believe that is a black cherry. And then of course we have a lot of sugar maples. And then straight ahead here, it's about halfway up our driveway, is our wood processing center. And that is not my boat. It's a friend's that is asked to leave his fishing boat here during the summer, spring, summer, and fall. But back here is where all the videos take place that you see with us cutting wood. We actually did some at lunch today. And we got quite a bit done today for lunch, but you can see we're getting close to finishing up the wood that we have here. You can see this is freshly cut today. You can see the difference between what was cut a couple days ago, just in the color. Same, this is all new for the most part over here. So we'll finish up cutting this within the next couple of weeks and split it, and we'll move it down to the wood storage facility. It's pretty dry. I put the moisture meter on it. We got this back in April, and I've got a wood delivery video that I'll post too, but it's pretty dry. It's probably between 20 and 27% moisture. Our goal obviously is between 15 and 20%, and this is not that far away. By the time we get it underneath and when we start using it, it'll be well below 20% because it's pretty dry now. Got some more color here. This is a pretty big hill right here. I don't know if you can get a sense of it, but if I roll this apple down, this is always a tough hill to plow. Let's see if you can see that. Yeah, it's gonna go off. But it's a pretty steep hill. Luckily, I'm walking down it. This also gets a fair amount of ice because of all of the vegetation in the trees. It just does not see the sun even in the winter when these leaves are down. Some more color here. You can see a lot of leaves already starting to fall. Usually through here we'll spook some deer, and they'll spook us too sometimes when they get up and take off running. All right, over in this area here is a little creek that runs down through here, and it's pretty dry right now. It is muddy though. All right, this area here, this has been a project. This is coming up the driveway. You can see a lot of downed trees, and a lot of these are recent. We get a lot of wind coming out in front of the red barn there, and it just shoots up this hill, and we get a lot of straight line winds that you can see where they're all bent and fallen down here. But I worked on it in the spring, but I have a lot more work to do. In fact, we had a couple more drop as well. And it's like I mentioned before, there's a creek in here, so it's wet. So these, if we get a fair amount of wind, they will come down. But it's good firewood. And now that I have a little bigger wood chipper than some of these bigger branches that don't meet the requirement for firewood. I'll just put them through the chipper. It's a never-ending chore to keep the property cleaned up, and this is just what you can see from the road. Oh, here's a couple of deer right there looking at us. Let's see if we can pull them in here. A couple of little ones here. One's just staring at me. They're pretty much used to us. See if we can get a better view of them. Yeah, one's got its head down eating on the left, and then on the right, a little one checking us out. They have no problem jumping this fence. In fact, once we move down here and walk down here a little bit, they'll start to take off. And the other one sees us. I think that's the mom on the left. They're not too afraid of us. Let's see if we can get, oh, there they go. I don't know if they'll jump. There's a fence back there. I'm not sure that they will even, you can see the fence up there. I'm not sure they'll even jump it to get out. Probably not. They'll just hang out in those woods up there till I'm gone. Here's our storage facility. It's about 3,600 square feet. And I'll show you a aerial view of it. Got 2 overhead doors, and it's a pretty nice building. It's roughly 15 years old. I just had to replace the garage door openers, the overhead door openers, this past year, and those work nice, but you can see down the side here. It's a nice building. Of course, I got pretty stout security on it because it is so a little ways from the house. And then we've got this little shack, and there's actually history to this. This used to be a life-saving station out on somewhere close to Lake Michigan. And the previous owners bought it, moved it out here, and years ago they used to sell some produce out of here. Right now we use it. I had it completely re-roofed and put siding on it and cleaned it up, and that's the history of it. Is it was an old life-saving station. Not very big, but sort of neat. We wanted to preserve the history of it. And then as we continue to walk down the driveway, you can see this open field here, and it's all fenced in. It's about 5 acres, and we are going to start putting cider apple trees out there. We're going to start that hopefully next spring, but we hope to put at least 3 or 4 acres of cider apples. And I wanted to also point out these trees here. These trees have to be close to 100 years old. They're big sugar maples, and they look awesome here in another week or so. But we're constantly picking up branches and limbs and things of that nature. This one right here in front is big as well. It's got to be 100 years old or older. And then this other big tree, this big, see if I can get you a good view of it. I'm gonna walk around here so you can kind of get a sense of how big it is. It's really hard without having any, but that is a white pine, and it is completely, it leans this way, and this is where this wind comes in. And over the years, it's just It's just grown that way, but it's huge. It's in great shape. But that's the Michigan white pine. See if our deer came back. Doesn't look like it. Does look like we've got some fog rolling in. All right, well, that's the property tour. I'll do these periodically just so you get a sense of the changing seasons. 2 months from now, we'll probably have a foot of snow, so I'll certainly do one as well. But in any event, if you like these videos, please consider subscribing. If you're not a subscriber, please consider subscribing down below. If you are a subscriber, I want to thank you very, very much for supporting the channel. And until the next video, this is Ed for Up North with the Nybergs, and we'll see you soon.